Like the masses, I was in awe when I first laid eyes on all the things you are. I heard that speech. I knew we'd make noise. I just thought it'd be in the streets.
The Black Panthers are the single greatest threat to our national security. Our counterintelligence program must prevent the rise of a Black Messiah.
You're looking at 18 months for the stolen car, 5 years for impersonating federal office, or you can go home.
What do you want?
Get close to Hampton.
The Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of
Neutralize him by any means necessary.
America's on fire right now. And until that fire is extinguished, nothing else means a damn thing. Imagine what we could accomplish together. We can heal this whole city.
You ain't tell me it was gonna be like this. These ain't no terrorists.
We got a rat, man.
Does anybody else know about me?
No one knows your identity.
Are you sure?
We educate, we nurture, we feed, and we lobby. Perhaps we're here for more than just war with these eyes. We scream, and we shout, and we live by this anthem. But it's power to the people who really worth their ransom.
When I dedicate my life to people, I dedicate my life.
You get to go up there and talk about dying a revolutionary death because you don't have another person growing inside your body.
Anywhere there's people, there's power.
Judas and the Black Messiah. Rated R. In theaters and streaming exclusively on HBO Max. February 12th.
Mic check, mic check. This is West Wednesday number 395. This is going to be a special broadcast. I'll allow Tawanda to introduce what we're doing tonight and let it go from there. Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Take yourself off mute, Tawanda.
Tawanda, you're still muted.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so like my brother Ben just said, this is a very special West Wednesday. This is week 395, day 2,600, and I'm sorry, 2,000. So nonstop, we've been fighting for accountability. But before I start talking about, our fight, I wanted to let you know how special this West Wednesday is. So I don't know if you guys, well, you just saw the trailer for the movie that just came out on last Friday, Judas and the Black Messiah. I urge everybody to watch it. It's a must see. We have a real special guest tonight, and I'm going to be connecting with the chairman, Fred Hampton Jr. He is the son, and it's just really sad that what his father and what his family, his mother, his father, his family experienced, and it's a real true life movie, but a lot of things that they don't want us to know, and that's just like with anything dealing with social media. They'll, portray things to be one way and it's a total difference. So to actually have Fred Jr. to actually have a conversation with him. So we're going to be switching over, and I'm going to be connected because he has his own special broadcasting show and whatnot, and our brother Ben will be syncing it too. So all you got to do is just stay tuned, listen out. You may not get to see me because I know he'll be live, but I think I'm going to dial in and be talking. So I don't know how that's going to work, but I definitely want you to hear what our brother has to tell you. And I'm just, like I said, real honored. I watched that movie last night and I was literally into tears. Like, I had a array of emotions. Like, it was just like, wow. And I just think about, and how we can make the connection so they can about everything that's happening today in society in which brown and black folks are suffering, in which they just hate us for our skin color. We can't never do anything to uplift us. It's always we're looked at, no matter how good or bad or whatever we do things, we're always criticized. We're always like put down. And it's just sad, like a lot of things is like I say, this is the highway, hell is our reality. Rather, you want to just talk about police brutality over here, homelessness, all that, but together it's all together. So again, we've been fighting for 395 weeks for accountability, not just for my big brother Tyrone West, who was brutally executed, beat to death. And when I saw in this movie, I was seeing how the police were acting like gang members, beating down, and like they actually assassinated his father while he was sleeping. And just like one of the sisters in the movie said, if they will assassinate a black man while he's sleeping, imagine while you're walking, breathing, walking around. It's just really sad, like, that all this stuff is connected. Recently, my family's still traumatized by the recent murder of my cousin, Tavon Anderson. And I always get choked up because I'm not even going to be talking about him being murdered. But the interesting part, when he was murdered on January the 20th, election day, everything was going on when you had the president, our new president, all this foolishness happening and taking place, and all this inauguration foolishness, But my cousin was assassinated, but that night on the news, let's be crystal clear, that night on the news, the ACLU had dropped a bomb, like a bombshell, talking about all the corruption in the Baltimore City Police Department. They went on to say that they had over 36,000 complaints from 2015 to 2020, right? And the interesting part is they talked about the elite gun trace force, and and then they talked about some of the officers are actually still working on the force of immunity and things of that nature. And ironically enough, Killer Ruiz, who is now sergeant, who brutally murdered my brother, who every week we always play a video of, Ruiz and his heinous attacks and real victims. And unfortunately, my brother was one of the victims, but we only knew about 6, including my brother. We didn't know about the other 18 that I dropped that bombshell on the news at 11 o'clock, right? And then an hour and a half later, my cousin Tavon is executed. Wasn't doing anything wrong. Let's be crystal clear. My cousin wasn't into the street. He was a peaceful guy. Anybody and everybody that knows Shiki know that this man was a man of peace, of love. So I said all that to say, I'm not going to sleep until we find out what the hell happened, who did it, and why did they do it. Because it's not making sense. And I'm starting at the pig's pen first, and I'm working my way around this corrupt, dirty system. I'm working it around to all these people from the state's attorney's office. It's everything to me, like I said. Unfortunately, whenever our loved ones get murdered, instantly, once they cover us up in that body bag, the cover up begins. They start tracing their steps, hiding stuff, and here it is going on 8 years, y'all. We still ain't holding nobody accountable. Yes, West Wednesday has been real powerful in ways of like changing different things. Like, actually, I give it up for West Wednesday, because had it not been for the West Wednesday crystal clear, we changed the way that they do meetings, town hall meetings. You used to could just go in there. You didn't have to sign up. You could go in there, raise a hand, and then they would let you speak. But thanks to the West Wednesday, because we shut it down. We don't get it shut it down. Wait, but hey, that's what sometimes you gotta pick. You get what I'm saying? But the fact that we sat as a family together, right? A family united, that they cannot break up. They cannot pull one of my family members out to sell one of us out to feed them. If they couldn't do that with the West End. And that's why I said that movie touched bases with me on so many levels of things, with all the corruption, the daily corruption. So, like I said, I'm honored tonight to actually have the son, and it broke my heart. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody, because I urge everybody to go out and watch this movie, y'all. But then I want you to listen to the brother, because I felt like he should have been the one, because he looks, he's a splitting image of his dad. You get what I'm saying? But when I saw the part when, and this is a little sneak preview, I'm just going to give it up, but I'm not going to talk. But when I saw the part at the end, when they actually took a shotgun. The cop, after he murdered Fred, right, Senior, he took and pointed the shotgun literally at the mother's stomach. He could have killed Fred Hampton Jr. and we wouldn't even got a chance to meet or get to know him. So I said all that to say, sorry that's my alarm, but I said all that to say, you know, it's real. Like, so I want you guys, every time you hear something happen, be your own conscious consumer. Don't just assume that, oh, I heard about, you know, street violence and crime and all this stuff that we always have. Why are we killing each other? Yeah, we do need to stop killing each other. But guess what? We're not the only race of people that commit crime. Stop letting the media feed to us what they set the narrative. So what they'll do is, like, for instance, with the unfortunate time of this brother that was murdered doing his job on the bus, the MTA driver, and all he asked the the guy to put on a mask type thing, and he was murdered. But what they'll do is they'll use that, so then every time you see somebody getting shot up, killed, murdered, first thing we think in our mind, damn, we killed the shot. You don't know that. You don't know until they have suspects apprehended, right? You know, through the whole due process of the law, you don't know nothing. So stop assuming that every time you hear something that is always what they want to call it. I hate to say the terminology, the black on black foolishness, but community crime. Be your own conscious consumer. Like I said, they like to try to like basically reconstruct and add onto everything that we see and watch and keep us the way they want us. So they redirect our thinking process through the television that tells us lies, feeds us with lies, tells us what they want. Now all of a sudden, the coronavirus is kind of dying down because of this foolishness, and now they want everybody to get the vaccination. Like, and I'm not telling nobody not to. I mean, that's just my thing with it. But a lot of things, when they're trying to curb you to think something, they'll put all these distractions in the way, and then you don't hear about nothing. So I said all that to say, please keep your eyes on what's happening right here in our community. And then next week I'm going to bring, sorry to ramble, but next week I'm going to bring a special guest on. Her son was just, assaulted real bad, and she's basically getting interviewed by the news and things like that. But she was going to come on tonight, but I kind of pushed it to the next week type of thing. But she even told me that some missing girl, and I'm wondering if it's the one that Bloom has shared with us. I don't know if it's her or not because I haven't got the victim name. But she said that her news press conference, because she lives out in the county somewhere, but she said that they cut her news press conference because they actually found a young girl that was missing body, and that was late breaking news. And it's just sad, And think about this. Every time we hear the news, whether it's somebody's child that was snatched or murdered or whatever, however, you got to think about the families that are left here behind suffering. And that's their level. It may be like, ooh, oh my goodness, that's something to see on the news. But at the end of the day, that's somebody's damn family. Literally, and I just keep on thinking about when I got that call from my cousin Jamie. I didn't know in the middle of the night, mind you, when my brother Tyrone West was murdered, we didn't get a call. I had to get the call from the calling of God, from literally my relationship with God. When I called my brother, because we were just like that, I knew something wasn't right. I started calling all around, all this type of stuff, and finally it came to pass on the news. I saw my dead brother body with all these witnesses crying, sobbing witnesses that had video footage. To this day, no video footage. We have not gotten anything. So like I say, the cover up starts immediately. They snatch and hide things. They even got the coroner to work with them. They even got Pamela Southpaw to actually work with them. Who you know that actually gives an autopsy, and you got the killer cop sitting right there with her while she's doing my brother's autopsy for the very next day. And literally the same day that they came in my family's house, which was the next day, on the 19th, his autopsy wasn't even done yet. But interestingly enough, they said out their mouth, and I got those jokers recorded. So if you want to hear the devil's talking to my family, you can hear it at any time. I think I might play it next week. But they actually came in, and out their mouth, they said, look, Mr. West is at the medical examiner's office. His autopsy is supposed to be done around 2:30 today. Right now it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. But we want to be transparent with your family. We want to make sure Mr. West didn't have a bad heart. We want to make sure that the weather didn't contribute with Mr. West's death. They said all this was every everything they said, they told my family this foolishness 154 days later, right? And then they thought they was gonna cover it up Will Smith and we was just gonna walk on. Hell no, not my brother. You know, lost your mind. Immediately I said, you know what? I'm gonna put all my pennies together. I got a 50 grand of my money. My money. It wasn't donated, it was my money out of my account. And I got my brother's body examined, I wanna say like 3 or 4 years later, and guess what? It came back that my brother was murdered, which first time my attorneys, thank goodness, they got a professional forensic person named Dr. Mannion. He concluded, and that's what made me think further, when Dr. Mannion first report came out, hey, no, the medical examiner's office got it wrong because Mr. West was murdered. You know, he died from positional asphyxiation, so we're like, wait a minute, hold up. And then I'm like, you know what? Mr. West will have the last word. And when I prayed on it and laid on it and I saw a show that led me to go and get my brother's body exhumed, I'm like, you know, if it wiped my whole account off, I don't care. My brother, they're not going to say my brother had a bad heart, he was unhealthy, and he died. No. And guess what? Same conclusion. He was murdered. So I said all this to say that interesting, that night when my cousin called me, which, like I said, my brother case no call, but when she called me screaming and howling, and we were rushing to go to where everything took place, I'm like, where you at? She like, I'm on Chester Street. I'm crying, I'm screaming like, oh my God, I almost got in 4 accidents. So by the time I get there, he's already gone down to John Hopkins. And I'm like, okay, they took him there. He must be gone because John Hopkins not even like shock trauma that really works and put it like, I'm just in my mind like trying to still have hope that my cousin is alive. And then shortly after that, one of my cousins called me and said that the Citizenship Act as well as Murder Inc. I had already announced that my cousin was dead. I'm sitting up there riding to the hospital trying to have hope, me and my family, and then now the media knows before we know that my cousin is dead. So I said all that to say, whenever you see the media put something out there, be your own conscience consumed. Thank you guys so much. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Well, I'd like to mention something that came out recently that we didn't know before. We did know that if you look around the United States, that Black and Latino people are killed at 2 to 3 times the rate of other people at least. But the new news, or the new analysis is this. It turns out that when we just look at young people between 12 years old and 17 years old, that Black people are killed at 6 times the rate of anybody else. And this came out in a journal called Pediatrics late in 2020, so just recently. And it studied the years from 2003 to 2018, looking, as I said, at young people ages 12 to 17, and it put all those numbers together. Police are killing young people of color at 6 times the rate they kill anybody else. Horrendous modern form of lynchings by the KKK in blue, and all the more reason we have to fight this very hard. Tawana, I have a little story that's indirectly related to Fred Hampton, if you'd like me to tell it.
Sure, please.
So there was a time in Hamden, for those that are not in Baltimore, Hamden's a community that has a history of intense racism. And it's the kind of place where if you're African American, you would be tolerated there during the day, but after dark, there was a high likelihood you would be attacked. And a Black family moved in on a street called Keswick, and the racists were throwing bricks and rocks through their front windows, which was really dangerous because they had small children. So we decided to organize a march to support that family. And at a certain point during the march, the police stopped us and they came up to me and wanted my personal information. So I was trying to avoid getting in too much legal trouble at the moment. And so when they asked me my name, I said, I'm Fred Hampton. And now today, prior to this movie coming out, you might think it'd be reasonable for a cop not to know who Fred Hampton was. But this was back in the 80s and 90s. Any person that keeps up with news should have known who Fred Hampton was. But that cop was so stupid. I said, I'm Fred Hampton. He said, okay, and he wrote it down, boom, 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 that was it. And the demonstration was very, very strong and supportive of the family. It was a good thing that day. But I just wanted to share that story.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Well, I got some updates on state legislation if people want to hear it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so the State Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee yesterday and Friday and again today have been debating repeal of the Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights and reform of the Maryland Public Information Act so that people can access records of police misconduct. And I don't know if they voted yet. You know, I was working and then eating food, and now I'm here. Like, I can't sit there on their live streams, but luckily there are people who are able to take the time to do this, so we get this information. But they might have voted on it tonight. They might continue to debate it. But they're talking about amendments put forward by the Maryland Sheriff's Association and the Maryland, which doesn't even have a reason to be involved, actually, in any of these conversations, the Maryland Sheriff's Association. It's a little weird. And the Maryland Police Chiefs Association. And they want to do things like add something to the repeal of Leobor bill that says jurisdictions are prohibited from setting up their own independent oversight boards that are actually allowed to have teeth in any way. You know, so right now we have the Civilian Review Board in Baltimore City, and it can say those 2 cops involved in the shooting of Keith Davis Jr., they should be fired. You know, they lied over and over in this testimony. Like, there's 5 different versions that they've told on paper. They should be fired. And that doesn't mean anything. And so in this repeal bill that Senator Carter put forward, it not only takes away the special privileges that cops have in terms of only other police can try them and whatnot, it also says, and, you know, opt in, a jurisdiction can create an oversight board, you know, or else just the chief does it, you know, it flows through him. So at least there's one person you can hold accountable. But so they're trying to make it so you're not allowed to have those kind of, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. And if they haven't voted on it yet, you know, like, be contacting anybody that represents Senator William Smith is the chair of the Judicial Proceedings Committee. Senator Bill Ferguson in Southeast Baltimore, of course, is the president of the Senate. And I don't know a lot of people in Southeast Baltimore, you know, like, that's not my area, but anybody who's down there, as much as they can, and all of us, because, you know, these people represent and make decisions. You know, I can't believe I'm saying on a stream with you, Bill, that these people represent us. These people have this power over us. Yeah, and at least they have to not be able to say that people didn't say anything, you know? They always love to say that they go with what their constituents said. So we try to overwhelm them, and it seems to make a difference. That's what the people, the lobbyists who spend all their time with them and see what they do and don't do say. They say it seems to make a difference. So that's why I consider it important to keep talking about. And they're trying to change for the reform of the Public Information Act to say you can't disclose unsustained records, which is 90% of the records, right? 90% of the time they say, oh yeah, we looked into it and Bob didn't do anything wrong. Moving on. No, we're not going to tell you why or if we read the things that you gave us. No, you know, that's how they do it now, and so it's going to keep it that way. So they're trying to do what, of course, we all knew that they would do, and do a watered down, and that would be such, you know, I hardly need to say a terrible waste in this year where these legislators have been on record more than ever before being like, oh, yes, no, actually, we do need to fix all these things. You know, because people have been out on the streets. Shame to waste that moment. On local police control, it's been an interesting set of developments. Brandon Scott put forward bills that Senator McCray and Delegate Wells put in for him, which is a thing that administrations do from time to time. And the initial version said that there would be a board set up for 1.5 years to study how local control would work because I guess it's very confusing, this thing that literally everybody else does. And that in 2024, in the Baltimore City election, there would be a referendum on whether or not it should happen. And then activists spoke with him, and he said, I always meant it to say in the 2022 election, there will be a referendum, so that will be changed. And we'll add more community representation to the advisory board. Good point about that one, too, is what we're hearing from the Scott administration at this time.
It's 7 o'clock.
So we'll see how that goes. And the other big one on my mind is the ban university private university police bill. Excuse me. I keep wanting to say the bill to repeal the authorization for the Hopkins police force, because that's how I've been thinking about it. But the truth is, Delegate Ivey from Prince George's County put in a bill that actually has the effect of banning all city police. And so me and some other folks spoke with Delegate Maggie McIntosh, who's one of the people in my district, and we brought up this issue. We had gone through other things, other policing reform demands, and she didn't, quite commit to what she was going to do. We brought up bills that were anti-ICE, and she was much more willing to say that she was in favor of them. And we brought up Hopkins private police reform, private police repeal, and she went, oh, this again. We got to talk about this again. It was quite a thing, really. And so we did, but we pushed her on it in the time that we had. And, she said that she hadn't been hearing from people about it one way or the other. But anyway, she couldn't possibly consider it because Delegate Ivey put in the bill and it would repeal Hopkins police. And he's all the way down in Prince George's County. So, he doesn't get a say in that. And we didn't even know enough to say at the time, or at least I didn't, actually this bill has statewide impact. And yes, it would also impact this precedent that you set in Baltimore with this private police force that nobody wanted, and which now there are hundreds of faculty signed up against, 300 plus, as opposed to the 100, during the protests the other year. And there's 6,000 signatures on this petition. And still these politicians say, well, I'm not really hearing about it one way or the other, and I couldn't possibly vote on that. It's not even done the right way. Anyway, the hearing for that bill, for Delegate Ivey's bill, it's House Bill 336, is going to be on Monday in the House Judiciary Committee. And so you can sign up on Friday. They give you 48 business hours before, between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. on their website, to either give verbal testimony or submit written testimony. So there's this narrow window during which the public participation happens, but it gets on the record, and it does prevent them from saying, well, nobody said anything one way or the other, right? Because you can say, well, actually, you're lying. So that's what I got on all of that. It's moving ridiculously fast. People who really wanted to follow it have had a really hard time doing so, because normally you would just be starting to have hearings by this time. And they moved much, much faster because of COVID, knowing that they might have to shut down. So everything's been a real whirlwind. And it's really put, the advocates off kilter in terms of putting the word out there and getting more of these meetings and conversations going. But thanks for letting me go on about it for so long. I don't know if it can help in the end or not, because there are so many laws on the books and things still are the way they are. I think people matter more than laws. Changing, who's at the top and fundamentally how we deal with things and how we fund things. It's a much, much deeper defunding issue. But the people who've been working on this for a long, long time seem to believe very strongly that some of these changes are absolutely essential. And repealing the OBOR and putting in place the open process that Senator Carter's bill describes would mean that police investigations of police misconduct could be done by someone other than a police officer. I get that people probably get that at this point, but it's just so basic. Right now, no officer can investigate a police officer. And it would make hearings open to the public unless there was actually a safety reason not to. Like if you needed to protect a certain witness or something, and you wouldn't present to the officer all of the charges against him and who was making them in great detail right up front, which you would never do to somebody you were investigating for some other crime at their job or otherwise, some other misconduct. You investigate, and you don't lay your whole hand on the table. I could go on and on, but yeah, that's what I got.
Thank you so much, Abby, for sharing that. And for people that may tune in, like Ben said, we're doing a real special West Wednesday tonight. We're actually connecting with Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. So we'll be forming over or connecting with him around about 7:30ish. I'll be on around 7:45 on his broadcast. So all you gotta do is just tune in right here. You don't have to adjust anything. All you gotta do is just be patient, work with us. You definitely don't want to miss it. Mic check.
Mic check. I have a couple comments. Valerie L from YouTube says, is it possible to link the article from the Journal of Pediatrics?
Say a word about that. I read about it in an article, not the Pediatrics Journal. It referred to it, so I'll hunt for it, but I probably won't have it tonight, but I could try and have it next week.
Okay. And another comment from Hillary Robbins Hellerbach says, thank you for the update. That was very useful information. And another comment referring to the update says, and students at Hopkins come from all over the state as well as the country and the world, so only politicians from Baltimore have a say in question format.
That's so true. Yeah, it's about foisting something on this population of young people that they have overwhelmingly rejected, and the people even responsible for their education have overwhelmingly rejected. But and Bill at the meeting that we had with McIntosh said it really, really clearly. It's about these rich white racists who run the board of this extremely lucrative private institution that are making that decision for this population below them, controlling who has access to education without being threatened, for existing in the space. And it's about the borders that they won't even define still, that they plan to draw out into everybody's neighborhoods, And so you've got Delegate McIntosh saying, well, the president of the Tuscany Canterbury Community Association, which is actually the name of this tiny little 4-block community, north of University Parkway, that's very rich and very white, well, they were for it, so yeah. I don't think that's going to pass this year, but the university itself put the private police force plans on hold, waiting for everything to cool down. So I think it's going to be about building momentum on it for the coming year, and saying if we are trying to put in all these new things for accountability and transparency in place with policing, maybe it's not the time to set up a parallel police force accountable only to a university president that's already treated people so terribly.
Interesting.
I'll just say one more thing about Hopkins. Hopkins already, they have a very large security force, about 1,000 people that are unarmed. And they also have off-duty sheriffs and off-duty cops who patrol for them that are armed. So they really do already have, and they have had for years, an armed police force. But what they really want, they want it to be sanctioned by the state so that they get the immunity of LIBOR or whatever takes the place of LIBOR. So they really want no legal responsibility if and when one of their cops brutalizes or kills someone in a racist way. That's essentially what Hopkins wants here.
Yeah, qualified immunity, where you can't sue him for as much, basically. And Bill Ferguson has said to me, I went to one of the town hall meetings that they had for that district, and I asked him about local control of the city police, and he was concerned about liability because, you know, if you're attached to the state, like I said, there's a cap on what you can get. And he actually said to me that people see the city as a cash cow, you know, and they're just looking to make things up, you know, and get money out of the city left and right. So you gotta say that we're immune. And it was just so disgusting, you know.
Tawanda, I have the list of people around the country that have been killed by the police recently. If you'd like me to do that before we get on with Fred Hampton.
Yes. And before Uncle Bill shares this horrible list of names, as he read them off, just imagine if it was one of your loved ones. Just imagine that. I want you to come into that space. Don't just hear a name and go, oh, well, that's just a name. That's someone, family member that was murdered. Like literally, and these are the names that you don't hear on the news. You don't hear on the news. Or if you do, they sweep it under the rug real fast. So it's just sad, like literally to know that these killer maniacs are supposed to be serving and protecting, and the only one they're serving is themselves while they're protecting, and they're killing us. It's just horrible. And I really feel sorry for the one or two good cops that want to make a difference. I feel sorry, but it's just like a gang. Like, if you go back to the origin of policing, you know, when they were always they were slave catchers. Like, so I'm not even going there, but I just want you guys to hold in this sacred space these names and really, really think about the families that are affected as life is changed. It's on their loved one, and on the day that Uncle Bill is doing, their loved one was murdered. So think about that. Right,
Mic check. You're muted, Bill.
You're muted, Bill.
All right, I think I'm okay now, right? Sorry, everybody. So these are the names of people killed only in a 4-day, February the 4th, this month, through February the 7th. And there's still quite a number of people, and this may not even capture the total number because they average killing about 3 people every day somewhere in the United States. And the cases of brutality where the victims are not killed are much, much, much more widespread. Those are about once every 6 minutes. First person I'd like to honor was from Las Cruces, New Mexico. He was 39 years old. And if you'd like to repeat his name to honor him, Omar Cueva.
Omar Cueva.
Oh, and the computer is not functioning. One sec. Sorry, give me a moment and we'll get to the next person. Next person we'd like to honor this evening was killed by the police in Alta Sierra, California, 33 years old. A woman, Ariella Crawford.
Ariella Crawford.
Ariella Crawford.
Next, killed by the police again on February 4th in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 30 years old, Tifford Barton.
Tifford Barton.
Killed by police again on the same day. This is in Mobile, Alabama, 18 years old, Trey Webster.
Trey Webster.
Trey Webster.
Again on February the 4th, killed in Baltimore, 34 years old, Dante Green.
Dante Green.
Dante Green.
Dante Green.
Killed by police in High Point, North Carolina, 34 years old, again on February the 4th, Joshua Drummond Cruz.
Joshua
Drummond Cruz.
We're now on February the 5th, killed in, by police in Ogden, Utah. Unfortunately, we don't yet know the name of this victim. Perhaps we'll be able to share that next time. Also on February the 5th, killed in Trotwood, Ohio, 25 years old, Andrew Hogan.
Andrew Hogan.
On February 5th, killed in Martinsville, Virginia, another man whose name has not yet been posted, and I don't know his age. On February the 6th, again, this person was killed in Long Beach, California, and we don't yet know this individual's name. On February the 6th, in Laytonsville, Maryland, 52 years old, Kevin Koslow.
Kevin Koslow.
On February 6th, again, in Kearns, Utah, once again, this person has not yet been identified. It was a man. On February the 6th in Sarasota, Florida, another man not yet identified. On February the 6th in Mesa, Arizona, a 23-year-old not yet identified. Again on February the 6th in Phoenix, Arizona, a 29-year-old man, Anthony Greco.
Anthony Greco.
On February the 7th in Lacey, Lakeview, Texas, again, this person has not yet been identified. It was a man. On February the 7th in Bettendorf, Iowa, another man, unfortunately not yet identified. And that's the end of my list for this evening. And this list, as I mentioned, probably does not include all the victims of police murder around the country. And I'm glad we were able to give some recognition and uplifting to the names that we do have.
Thank you, Uncle Bill, for that. Thank you so much. And again, those are people, loved ones, and it's just really sad. Like, this is really sad. Like, and to me, the only answer with that is not just with that reform stuff. Like, I'm over that. Like, there's so many bills and stuff on the books. Lock them up, throw them in handcuffs, throw them underneath of the jail.
That's right.
That's what they don't want to talk about. These cell blocks for these killer cops. As long as we keep skipping around the reality of what really needs to be done, we will keep coming back with foolishness. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Wanda, do you if you want, I can go ahead and do my. I actually have picked up something of a list from a different source. I don't have all the usual information on the losses here in Baltimore, but I can say something about those.
Yeah, so before you do, I just want to I want to let everybody know that at the end of the day, this could easily be your loved one. Like, this is really sad that you have these lists that it doesn't stop. Like, even if it's not updated, the list does not stop. We're more than hashtags about that, you know, we're more than that. And I keep saying it, I don't say it because it rhymes or sound cute. I say it because I literally mean it. And at the same time, and it pisses me off, it infuriates me each and every week that I do this, like that we do this. It's just really sad, you know, because it's not, to me, it's not getting better. The names keep coming with the communities, the community violence or whatever. You know, it's just really sad. Then when you hear, and the sad part with me, the age, like it's just, it can happen to anybody. It's like, it's not a certain age that you're just grieved off. Sometimes in the night, you're going to actually grieve an age of a 16-year-old child. A 16-year-old child. Literally that goes to my daughter's school. Like, this is sad. Like, enough is enough. Like, at the end of the day, like, and it's just sad that look at us in the communities that all this stuff is happening at. We're not reading like a bunch, and it would still break my heart. Let's be clear, even if it was happening in Roland Park or wherever, it would still break my heart because nobody deserves to be brutally murdered. Let's be crystal clear with that. But it breaks my heart even more that nobody gives a damn that it's our loved ones that's being murdered. All the news is just so hard up to throw a name out there and throw a face, and then in the same breath they're saying, oh, well, the numbers are going down. You know, since last year at this time, we had like maybe 58 bodies on the ground, but this year we only got like 42. Like, are you freaking kidding me? It's disgusting. Enough is enough. I'm sorry. It's just like, It's pissing me the freak off, man. My check.
Mic check.
Mike, check.
Okay, Tawana, before I do my give my little list, I want to take a moment to go to church because I know that Tawana, you and I are church people, and there's not too many others here. But I've got ashes on my forehead. This is Ash Wednesday, moving into the period coming up to Christians believe to where we memorialize the death and resurrection of Christ. But that whole time period to me is a time for all of us to reflect on the fact that what it says in the Bible is that God comes to us as a dark-skinned man killed by the state undercover, and this is what we are supposed to be about. And so anyone who calls himself a Christian who isn't in this fight needs to reckon with that fact. So that's all I have to say about that. The list that's my duty to read every week is folks who were lost to violence here in Baltimore. And this week I don't have ages, which I usually say, so I'm just going to read off the names, and if you could mic check them back to me, that would be a way of honoring their memory and just holding them and their families here in this space. Danya B.
Danya B.
Marcus Bentley.
Marcus Bentley.
Kamari Williams.
Kamari Williams.
Javon Montgomery.
Javon Montgomery.
Guy Thomas.
Guy
Thomas.
Seymour Hall Jr.
Seymour Hall Jr.
And Irvin Talley.
Irvin Talley.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Irvin Talley, and not just like you petty just calling out, because at the end of the day, my heart, my prayers, my love, all goes out to each and every last person that our band just read off, right? But I just wanted to say that the last name, Irvin, that is a child, 16-year-old child, gone, 11th grader, gone. Supposed to be graduating next year, gone. And it's just saying, like, even in this pandemic, that's what I call it, the pandemic, bodies are still dropping. It didn't ease up at all. Like, it doesn't ease up at all. And then with the COVID, the only thing that's happening in my head, the way I'm translating, it's just in a real messed up time, because now they are controlling, the government is controlling every damn thing, down to the fact, like, literally I almost lost it in Hopkins when they're going to tell me, oh, you can't go back there. When I needed, my cousin was asking me, I'm about to get locked up. I told him, you touch me, I'm not worried about no damn COVID. You need to worry about me. I'm not worried about no goddamn COVID. You want to tell me that I can't go back there? And the only thing that pulled me through was the fact that I knew that my cousin, his sister, was back there. Because it wouldn't have been if they wouldn't have told me that his sister was back there, I'm telling y'all would have saw me on the news. I was already living. I'm in a whole world, and they're gonna tell me, oh, because of COVID, you can't, like, F COVID. Like, they just, like, everything down to the fact that even to my cousin's funeral, you can only have so many people to mourn their loved ones. Like, it's horrible. We are in some freaking horrible times. So no matter how much we want to downplay things, this is our reality, that we have to, everybody have to tell us everything that we can do and how we do it, how we go and see our loved ones in the damn hospital, how we go and see our elderly loved ones in a nursing home that are in a nursing home. Just every damn thing. How now children are online, they can't be back in school, and you got someone want to be pushed them back in school. They don't give a damn if the numbers not showing up or how the teachers feel anything. Just go back to school. This my whole classroom packed right now. Like, as if COVID's not going on. Like, it's ridiculous. So this is the damn capitalist system that needs to be smashed. Period. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. I just want to tell a little story about January the 6th that led by people with Confederate flags and other white nationalist and racist insignia tried to take over the Capitol. And there's a parallel with that, which is interesting. It was 1923 or 1924. Essentially the same thing happened in Germany. The Nazi Party, which is very similar in their outlook to these groups, Nazi Party had something called the beer hall putsch. A putsch is a word meaning a coup d'etat or an overthrow of the government. And they similarly, just like the Capitol occupation and attack on the 6th, they tried to take over the German government, and they lost. And as a result, Hitler and others were found guilty of treason, and he was sent to jail. While he was in jail, he wrote his book, his famous book, Mein Kampf, which is his whole vision about fascism. And then, so that was 23 or 24. About 9 years later, the Nazis came to power in Germany. So we face some difficult times ahead, and the United States may move towards fascism, and the forces that we saw try to take over the Capitol may spread, and the liberal capitalists, they may support it. We may see a time where Chase Manhattan Bank and Citibank fund the Proud Boys, and the CIA trains the Proud Boys, and they try to build a mass fascist movement in the United States. And the reason I say that may happen is because the world is moving towards world war to see who's going to be top dog. The United States is no longer in the unchallenged position of being the major capitalist power. If we go back to the 70s, out of the top 10 banks in the world, 7 or 8 of them were US. Now only 2. First 4 biggest banks in the world are Chinese, and there's some are French and some other capitalist countries. So as the United States declines as a world power and as other powers rise, they're going to duke it out to see who's the big boy, who gets the cheap labor around the world, who gets the resources around the world, and who gets the markets around the world, and therefore makes the biggest profits. And so we face the real threat of the rise of fascism, not only from the right wing, but also from liberal capitalists who decide they may need it to organize and discipline us to prepare for war. So our fight against racism is going to have to be stepped up in the coming decade. We're going to have to work even harder. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Another parallel is they released a report. The majority of the people arrested for the insurrection, January 6th, were had experienced some type of financial turmoil or bankruptcy, and that's always been kind of the challenge is kind of having a better message, and kind of reaching these people from a socialist communist standpoint. The fascists have been kind of like in Germany, one step ahead in radicalizing these people. And I think we've seen a lot of that over the years as jobs were being outsourced and these people, became frustrated and turned to racism and fascism, as opposed to wanting to challenge the system and start punching down instead of punching up at the people that actually oppress them. So you're actually correct about the about the parallels. It seems like the fascist movements always reach the desperate population quicker and take advantage of their anger.
I want to respond to that. I see we got 2 minutes left. So is there anything else anyone wants to say? Because I don't want to run into Chairman. I'm really excited.
So I just want to say real quick, I want everybody to tune in because soon Ben is going to be closing out, not closing out, but like switching over. So don't go anywhere. You definitely do not want to miss the Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Don't want to miss this. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that there's lots of interesting examples in history, from Reconstruction to the French Revolution, you know, of people who hate the folks in the cities, you know, and love their traditional way of life, no matter how hard it's depressed. And that it's not about the economic concerns, you know, that I think our focus ought to be on building power and solidarity amongst ourselves, and just not then going and oppressing people in return, you know, but being stronger because we need to be. That's where my head is at. I don't know that there's an appeal that can work aside from maybe creating a better world that they then have to live in.
Yes, I agree.
All right, y'all. I hate to cut you all off, but from Blog Talk Radio with Fred Hampton Jr. is about to start, and so I am going to go ahead and jump out of Jitsi. Y'all can continue here if you like, but I'm going to switch broadcasts. Peace, peace. Mic check.
Peace.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
And everybody stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. Do not hop off my page. You don't want to miss it.
All right, I'm going to check Blog Talk Radio. Hit the refresh. Looks like they are still waiting to go live. I'm going to check their Facebook page to see if they are live here. Thank you for staying tuned and bearing with us. Looks like they are not live on Facebook yet. I'm just going to keep refreshing on the Blog Talk Radio page. The name of the broadcast that Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. puts on is Straight Up Talk Radio. And you can find them on all social media at STR8UPREALTALK0. Looks like they are on the air now. Playback is loading.
I see y'all out there, man. I just want y'all to know one motherfucking thing. I would never, ever violate the codes in the streets, and I would never make a promise that I know I couldn't keep it out. Hands up, eyes over the fifth place. Make the niggas doing this good shit. Distribute the chairman, checking in. Now, when I say codes of the sea, we talking about the path to clubs. Like at the party club, it is. I would never violate the codes of the sea. We'll never speak nor serve the interests of our enemies. And if I say that I'm with you, we'll come get you. You best believe that like bad luggage, we'll never leave. Now, unfortunately, I can never say that I never won't broke. Because sad to say that we ain't never had this shit roll, or I can never say how it's gonna go. One thing for sure, two things for certain. There's no shit a motherfucker like us, they gonna say it again, just in case y'all weren't listening. I will never put profitable politics plus with no our people. I will never display the negative minutes of UEP. Never betray the Black Panther Party. And never bow down and lay down the legacy at the feet of our enemies. Never, never, never. I will pass the club by birth and by battle. This is my bloodline and my prison time. If they try to take the legacy, where it be? Not on our watch. But we'll never, never, never have it. Never, never. Never, never. Never gonna turn cold, my nigga. I could never trade. I never crossed my homies out. That ain't how I made. And I never had not one regret on how I was raised. I'm from the ghetto where I slum it every day. Never do no other way. This ain't gonna never change. Never gonna bite my tongue. Fuck what a nigga say. 100 with myself. I swear to God I stay the same. And when I finally got my paper, I was on my game. Never talk your nigga down. Do your thing, dog. Never let the dude for try. That's the same, dog. Get your motherfucking money. That's the thing, dog. Too many homies die young. Feel my pain, y'all. October 23rd, 24, 2016, up in California. Long live the legacy Black Panther Party. Protected, respected, and never, never neglected. Never, never.
Pump spirit, parts of pieces like Reese's. I freeze it, speaking
fathers understand the importance of politicizing the gun. We be the ideological sons and daughters of the black cats. And we the ones that brought the days of the dark shades and Alpha's back. And we ain't got no problem with you praising the Lord if you willing to bring the spirit of Nat back. Who we be? We be the ones who rest records longer than average cats rap records. By no means, this ain't no intentional shit. In fact, it's one of the signs of us being under attack. Therefore, these statistics are plainly mainly due to the state's attacks. See, we the ones that don't get due credit to the state say it's safe to say it. In other words, a lot of y'all to show us some love to be long gone in the grave. But for now, many see it correct politically to only have the ability to speak in secrecy about the moves we made. Who we be? We recognize the essential potential of armed propaganda. And we done raised the bar of what it is to be a diehard. In this game, we know the thing of what it is from a cat considering himself a criminal to a convict to a prisoner of cards. Who we be? You see, we the enlisted men and women in the people's army. And our kinfolk fall from the trees, the leaves, the lights of those that chant and pray and praying for norm. We sprout from the seeds of Huey P. Not long, but the one that sent the sentiments of the Viet Cong. It was on the right side of the question of the U.S. aggression against the Vietnam. Man, we far surpassed the grass and then got up under the gutter. In fact, some cats say that we consider ourselves weeds. Yeah, that's us. Who we be? Man, we so financially fucked up that our motto goes that the POCC is in debt, but not dead. We broke, but not broke. Where we come from, where we at, what's our membership? Well, we be the residue from the slave, rest of the flesh the sharks too full to eat after we was thrown overboard. In fact, some of us still at the back of the bus. So we the ones fighting to be free, but in the meantime, between time, looking forward to prison business. And when we talk, you best believe that they listening. We come from college campuses and street corners. We do more for 10 a.m. than your elected officials or the Marines do in 1,000 mornings. We keeping our eyes on the prize, and we also recognize in this time and place, one can never negate the question of race. But in the same breath, we also know that on this here slave ship, all black folks ain't in the same position. But we'd be remiss if we negate to mention that we still got to deal with this here class contradiction. We see theory without practice is blind, and practice without theory is a chance to waste time. POCC, what's our call? Free them all.
Two centuries ago, when the United States was a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the conditions prevailed in the nation, and the assumption on which its foundations were built was such that they ensured that the United States would come to its maturity under circumstances which mean that for a substantial proportion of citizens, life is nothing more than a living dead. Liberty is nothing more than a prison of poverty, and the only happiness we enjoy is laughing. We find evidence for majority freedom and minority oppression in the fact that even while the early settlers were proclaiming their freedom, they were deliberately and systematically depriving Africans of their freedom. These basic contradictions were further aggravated by acts which implicitly admitted that the majority was wrong, but unwilling to do right. Thus, when the Declaration of Independence was drafted, the Founding Fathers struck all mentions of the slave trade. Thus, when the United States Constitution was drafted, the Founding Fathers considered the slaves as equivalent to 3/5 of a man. Thus, when the slaves were emancipated, the descendants of the Founding Fathers compromised that freedom to gain further territory. These compromises were so basic to the thinking of the forebears that legal attempts to correct the contradiction through constitutional amendments and civil rights laws have produced no change in our conditions, and we're still a people without equal protection and due process of the law. We recognize then that the oppressive acts of the United States government, when contrasted with the testaments of freedom, carries forward a basic contradiction found in all the legal documents upon which this government is based. Generation of the majority group have been born, they have worked, and they have seen the fruits of their labor in the life, liberty, and happiness of their children and grandchildren. generation after generation of black people in America have been born, they have worked, and they have seen the fruits of their labors in the life, liberty, and happiness of the children and grandchildren of the oppressor. While their own descendants wallow in the mire of poverty and deprivation, holding only to the hope of change in the future. The hope has sustained us for many years and has led us to suffer the administration of a corrupt government. At the dawn of the 20th century, this hope led us to formulate a civil rights movement, in the belief that the government would eventually fulfill its promise to black people. We did not recognize, however, that any attempts to complete the promise of the 18th century revolution in the framework of a 20th century government, economy, and society was doomed to failure. The descendants of that small company of original settlers of this land are not among the common people of today. They have become a small ruling class in control of a worldwide economic system. The Constitution set up by their ancestors to serve the people no longer serves the people, or the people of change. The people of the 18th century have become the ruling circle of the 20th century, and the people of the 20th century are the descendants of the slaves and the dispossessed of the 18th century. The Constitution set up to serve the people of the 18th century now serves the ruling circle of the 20th century. And the people of today stand wanting for a foundation for their own life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The civil rights movement has not produced this foundation, and it cannot produce this foundation because of the nature of the United States society and economy. The vision of the civil rights movement is to achieve goals which have been altered by 200 years of change. Thus, the civil rights movement and similar movements have produced no foundation for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They have produced humiliating programs of welfare and unemployment compensation, programs with sufficient form to deceive the people, but with insufficient substance to change the fundamental distribution of power and resources in this country. Moreover, while the movements attempt to get minorities into the system, we note that the government continues its pattern of practice which contradicts its democratic rhetoric. We recognize now that we see history repeating itself, but on an international as well as a national scale. The relentless drive for profit led this nation to colonize, oppress, and exploit its minorities. This profit drive took this nation from democratic capitalism and underdevelopment to bureaucratic capitalism and overdevelopment. Now we see that the small ruling circle continues its profit drive by oppressing and exploiting the people of the world. Throughout the world, the proletariat is crushed so that the profits of the American industry can continue to flow. Throughout the world, the freedom struggle of oppressed people are opposed by this government because they are a threat to the bureaucratic capitalism of the United States of America. We gather here to let it be known at home and abroad that a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to life and the pursuit of happiness has in its maturity become an imperialistic power dedicated to debt, oppression, and the pursuit of profit. We will not be deceived by so many of our fellow men. We will not be blinded by small changes in form which lack any change in substance of the imperialist expansion. Our suffering has been too long. Our sacrifices have been too great, and our human dignity is too strong for us to be prudent any longer. The Black Panther Party calls for freedom and power to determine our destiny. The Black Panther Party calls for full employment for all our people. The Black Panther Party calls for an end to the capitalistic exploitation of our community. The Black Panther Party calls for decent housing for all people. The Black Panther Party calls for an educational system that will tell us the true facts about this decadent society. The Black Panther Party calls for exemption from military service. The Black Panther Party calls for an end to police brutality. The Black Panther Party calls for freedom for all political prisoners and prisoners of war. members of our peers when we're brought to the court, and justice. The Black Panther Party calls for a nation plebiscite to determine the will of black people as to their national destiny. Black people and oppressed people in general have lost faith in leaders of America, in the government of America, and the very structure of the American government that is its legal foundation. This loss of faith is based upon the overwhelming evidence that this government will not live according to the Constitution because the Constitution is not designed for its people. For this reason, we assembled a Constitutional Convention to consider rational and positive alternatives. Alternatives which will place the emphasis on the common man. Alternatives which will bring about a new economic system in which the rewards as well as the work will be equally shared by all people. A socialist framework. Alternatives which will guarantee that within the socialist framework, all groups will be adequately represented in decision-making and administration which affect their lives. Alternatives which would guarantee that all men will obtain their full manhood rights, that they will be able to live, be free, seek out those goals which will give them respect and dignity, while permitting the same privileges for every other man, regardless of his condition or status. The sacredness of man and of the human spirit requires that human dignity and integrity ought to always be respected by every other man. We will settle for nothing less, or at this point in history, anything less is but a living death. It is a fact that we will get change. We will transform the society. It is up to the oppressor to decide whether this will be a peaceful thing or we will use whatever means that is effective, regardless of the consequence, because it is our conclusion and our principle that a slave who dies a natural death will not balance two dead flies on the scales of eternity. We will have our manhood, even if we have to level the face of the earth. So I would like to say that we are one tonight. Let us be one in the future. Power to all of the people.
I'm the deputy chairman of the state of Illinois Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And a lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that word that Hillary uses a lot. What we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same type of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we say that we work with anybody, form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism, and we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people, and we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. Everybody in the state of Illinois is going to have to be involved or even around the revolution because we're going to have one. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to even have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. We got to start learning, and you learn through practice. We got to start making mistakes, and you learn through making mistakes. We got to start getting out there with the people. And a lot of times we think we're better than the people, but that's an insult, and that's criminal. Think you're better than the people. But we got to get together and learn where it's at. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Education for children is something else. You ought to dig on it. Every sister in this audience Every sister ought to get themselves together and come on down and help us just make the children program. Y'all just come down and help feed them children in the morning. We have breakfast for children because we teach the people through practice, through observation and participation, that people can be fed free. That's people saying socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. We know they have our pictures, we know they're looking for us, we know they want us, but we're still saying that even though we could be in a sense, as far as this physical goes, on the mountaintop, we in the Black Panther Party, because of our dedication to understanding what's in the valley, knowing that the people in the valley, knowing that we originally came from the valley, knowing that our flag is the same flag as the people in the valley, knowing that our enemy is on the mountaintop, our friends are in the valley. We say even though it's nice to be on the mountaintop, we're going back to the valley. I be in the office every day. I be in the streets propagandizing every day. I be working with everybody every day. I be preaching that solidarity is the thing. The end of a complete wipeout of imperialism is the thing. So if you're going to be thinking about me, that's what Bonnie will be teaching. If you're going to be thinking about us, all we say is we don't, ain't no thing about going nowhere, getting killed. All we want to know is that you're doing what we be doing if we were here. And you got to do that. You can't do it unless you believe that you can do it. In the spirit of liberation, we understand that they want everybody in the party in jail. And we know that if we try to figure out and separate and divide who should go and who shouldn't go, we spend more time doing that than working for the people. So the quick solution, the speedy one, nobody goes. Nobody goes. We all stay right here. With the people. Because we know the people. Okay, you put your hands down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out. We say Panther power to the Vanguard Party. When you leave here saying the last word, before you go to bed, next time I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it and you might, end up in what they call a revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that. I am a revolutionary. Say it when you're going out. Everybody wants you to leave. Okay? We're going to say it while we're going out. And we're going to start a thing called Free Fred. Don't that sound nice? Hey, let's do that. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Hey, I ain't even in jail yet.
Created a plan to start COINTELPRO deal, and then he turned into a foreman. The chairman
killed the wee hours of the morning. I'm feeling like Mike Brown, I'm feeling like Trayvon, I'm feeling like I gotta stay on the hoodies and ARs, I'm feeling like I gotta black down, but this is a straight war, so tell me that I'm on the front line, I'm taking no days off. Yeah, said it's mental slavery, up it's all in your head. If you ain't got your liberation, you're all dead. These modern day plantations, they call it the Fed. Whatever happened to the route, guess all of them dead. I don't care if it's a Kufi, bow tie, or Feds. We need to unify people and buy some land. And when I talk about the Jacksons, I ain't talking Mike. I'm talking George and Jonathan marching with their rifles. You try to kill the revolution, then you gotta shoot us. This for the Chairman Fred, Mark Clark, Huey Newton. This here for Black August. Let's have a moment of silence and dedicate it to them riders that's in black coffins. I got the voice of Malcolm, mixed with the heart of Marcus. I got my knowledge from the slums, I've never been to Harvard. Tell me it's love, tell me it's hate, tell me it's pride. Tell me the reason why they keep on telling us lies. Tell me the reason why those teens in America dealt guns at an officer five. Gotta understand, they consider us 3/5 of a man, which means you're not a human on this land. Dre Scott, black man ain't got the same rights a white man's got. So why we steady rapping all these damn blocks? Who thought I'd see the day when the cops would become the damn ops? We just trying to land us a job, but they trying to land shots. Knowledge and intelligence is more important than that gangster shit that they been telling us. I wonder who the editors, I wonder who the ones that take their time to write the papers, that fail to mention trials and tribulations that we facing. I got neighbors that was racist, they got hatred for these pretty black faces. Who are you to judge our Lord's great creation? Relations to all of them great faces back in Africa. King Tut, Queen Nzinga, they set the path for us. If they could take a look at this map, they probably laugh at us. But then again, they wouldn't be laughing, they probably mad at us. Wonder how we all became thugs and drug traffickers. Let them capture us, and they building a bloodbath for us. Breathe, this water getting deep. It's way over my head, it's kinda hard for me to see. I got a queen and she natural mindset at Winnie Mandela, mixed with a solid secure. Said I got two choices, poverty or provide for the poor. Plus I'm fully prepared to collide with the law. I said I think we need 1 million men marching in the streets again. Think we need 1 million men marching with their peace in hand. Sometimes you gotta go to war just to have peace again. Rest in peace to Martin, time to treat us like kings again. They're the same motherfuckers that came to kill and capture us. You're the same motherfuckers that murdered Malcolm. Got the call on that to be asking us. Why they keep killing each other? Why they don't respect their mothers? Why they daddies at? Why they keep being black? Why they stay unemployed? Why they don't vote? Why they don't sit together? Why they still don't? Why they fucking 2 tears in the bucket? Let the chairman tell you what happened, Captain. The motherfucking cops and corrupt as corrupt. Like the whole goddamn colonized community. You know what the land's bloodshed. And it's on earth to all this work. And the damn take all the dirt. And try to stick our citizens up our motherfucking legacies. I don't fuck. We got generations after generations coming up. And I only know when I even giving a fuck. About go-getters like Harriet T. Marcus Garvey. I just be motherfucking Minister UEP. Shit. We don't know through the going tail pro. We die by the time, man.
The Freshman.
This is just a verse that I dedicate to the
here. I'm putting the dragon in this shit. Fuck up. I got a partner who been gone, but we never flat. And I ain't seen him since he been gone. Imagine that. A young nigga in the hood I grew up in, fighting the battle in the system that no one wins. And all these niggas go for bad when they lose friends. Getting impossible to tie up all the loose ends. My homeboy lost his sister in a car wreck. He's still alive, but through her eyes he is saw death. And when he came, he was violent. And when he left, she was silent. No other way left to describe it. You telling niggas keep their hands up, you fool you. When they killing niggas like they do, there ain't no motherfucking body fighting back. Pretty soon they gon' be hanging black. Why? Cause niggas won't react, we taking eye for an eye and a tooth for tooth. Do them bitches like they do, or cock it back and shoot. Lock it low, standing at the end of the road. Lock it slow, you motherfuckers freak with the show. Lock the door, ain't nobody leaving the line. At the end of the line, we gotta die. That's why we taking eye for an eye and a tooth for tooth. Do them bitches like they back and shoot. Lock it low, standing at the end of the road. Ride and loot, you ride for me, I ride for you. And when you pop some motherfuckers, you pop some bitches till they stop bleeding. I'm coming through and my Glock leaves. Stop breathing. You tell this motherfucking mama stop breathing, cause we not leaving. Until you know how it feels to lose a loved one. Motherfucker ran that great. Fuck that nigga, let's slug one, nigga. Tie that bitch by his ankles to the back of a truck. Drag his ass till his body parts. Rip the fuck up. Lock and low. Standing at the end of the road. Lock and flow. You motherfuckers rip with your soul. Lock the door. Ain't nobody leaving the line. At the end of the line, we gotta die. That's why I keep in mind. Peace of mind. Poverty structure to destroy everything that it touches. Leaving niggas on crutches. And the whole neighborhood in pain. We bow our heads and continue to pray. We lock it low. Standing at the end of the road. Lock it slow. You motherfuckers freak with the soul. Lock the door. Ain't nobody leaving the line. At the end of the line, we gotta die. That's why we taking eye for an eye and a tooth for tooth. Do the bitches like they do, or cock it back and shoot. Lock it low. Standing at the end of the road. Ride and loot. You ride for me, I ride for you. You disrespect our community when you come around. This is listen black ministers to calm us down. Bitch, fuck peace and the police. Until the bullshit cease. It's a war in the belly of the beast. A next turn around. I keep my finger on the fucking trigger. I ain't scared like these other niggas. Black life being lost to you cannibal type. Why you fighting over animal rights? You cannibal rights. Decapitate them like they did do. And let them rot in the woods. Leave them sitting there for bird food. It's cold-blooded, cause we can't get a fair shot. We getting 20 years for die rock. Free stuff, this shit for niggas and the vatos. Now turn the crackers off and pino. Eventually, we'll overcome it, but ain't no motherfucking singing. You want trauma, we can bring it. Look, I'ma say this shit one time and one time only. We ain't against all white people, but we are against all white people that's against us. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Lock it low. Fuck your damn, fuck your mangy ass dog. Fuck your chewing tobacco. Fuck your Confederate flag. And fuck your monopoly. You shotguns on the back of your pickup. You cowherds. You fucking hardback riding back for the water. Trying to drive their players apart. Cause the fucking niggas do hate. Redneck race, you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers are unbelievable. Y'all talking all that shit about go back to Africa. You were talking all that shit. We was out there to be down. We got picking that cotton for y'all motherfucking ass. And it's sweet as shit. Bitch, you motherfucker. It's not more prosperity than you almost do. And it's right here. Who the fuck you angry with? You shouldn't be angry with your motherfucking self because we don't own corporate America. Y'all do. Corporate America is 70% white, male, Anglo-Saxon. Y'all run the motherfucker. Y'all took the jobs overseas. You want to be bad at some damn stuff. But if you want to get it on, we can get it on, motherfucker. Till to break it down. You understand what I'm saying? You want to race war? You got it. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Loud, Dr. Loaded, loud Gotta turn this volume up a little bit. Ears up and eyes open and fists clench, y'all. Y'all, those who tuning in, somebody put on Facebook, they get up with me on, get up with us on Instagram at the official chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Live and direct on Instagram. We coming live and direct on Freedom All Radio, historic day, historic place. Weekly radio program of the Black Panther Party Clubs, hosted by yours truly, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. and also Robert Allen, a.k.a. Let's make history. Let's take history. Let's take history, y'all. That's what it is. Our goals when we joining us shortly. Just to give us a heads as we coming in late. Y'all forgive me, I ain't eating no candy. I'm eating something from my throat. My voice been gone. My voice been gone, man. But we ain't complaining. Free them all. Free them all. Somebody tag on my Facebook page to tune in on Instagram. Tune in on Instagram. Official Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Now we writing one. Don't be looking for no bogus books. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody trying to get their crash course in. Don't be going by these unauthorized books either. The words on the book right now, the real deal. Herald Tracks the building. Y'all tune in. Let them know on Facebook. We're on Official Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Don't be getting them bogus books. You know what I'm saying? I had to do too much damage control for misinformation people that got already. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You better read Lil Riding. You better read Lil Riding and Three Little Bears and read some of these old bogus books on the channel, the Black Panther Party. They wrote real talk. 929-477-3785. That's how you get in. Press 1. Let's go straight to it. Man, my brother Archie, we had a listening party. Today. Man, I'm gonna real talk. Man, it's going down. I need some. Okay, you need some to read now? Go and check out Chairman Fred Jr. blog spot. Let that hold you off until we get this book out. Go on, you know what I'm saying? Go to safehousinghouse.org. You know what I'm saying? Read that Chairman Fred Jr. blog spot. You know, read that. Keep, you know what I'm saying?
I'm on cloud million, man. It's going down. I need some. Okay, you need some to read now? Go and check out Chairman Fred Jr. blog spot. Let that hold you off until we get this book out. Go on, you know what I'm saying? Go to safehousinghouse.org. You know what I'm saying? Read that Chairman Fred talk. You know what I'm saying? Because some cats so damaged, ain't no bringing them back. So go to Chairman Fred Jr. blog spot. Let that hold you up for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on top of getting this book together ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Check out this. Go SoundCloud. Listen to Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Don't get no counterfeit. You know what I'm saying? Because then cats be coming at crying. And us, I donated to this group, and I thought it was y'all, and it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? No, don't go get no more counterfeit. Stakes too high. You know what I'm saying? You don't see, man. It's certain words and terms you better pick up his real deal. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep doing damage control. This movie project, we had to come in and do damage control for so much misinformation that was put out there. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? We live and direct. That's my little sister in the building. Real talk. Dominique in the building. In the words of Cool and Jerry, y'all did the damn thing. Y'all call in. Let people know on my Facebook that we live and direct. I just had the Stephon Clark family with us. Stephon Clark was gunned down with Sacramento police. We just left the location for Minister Huey P. Newton, giving a street sign for Minister Huey P. Newton. Hey, it's a phenomenal time. Y'all, man, I know y'all still charged up from the movie that's been out. People still buzzing. I ain't been arrested in about 5 days, I think. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, people say, Champ, get you some rest. Hey, I'm so proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated. Can't be intimidated. Real talk. Call in 929. Free them all so come around. Grandma, you there? Right on.
And I just want to say that I thought
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Brothers been calling me, sisters been calling me, children, older people. Talking about the emotional roller coaster they've been on. Just viewing it. People I haven't talked to in decades have called me back saying, "Man, I see what you were saying now. I didn't know all this happened." A lot of people don't even believe that we're worthy of being targeted by the government. This one sister, the police had beat up and took her to jail. And I remember working on the case, and it was like, I couldn't really put my finger on it until later on she had said she was, and she was talking, this is the first time this happened. And then she said that it was, she said, I know your mother was had been in jail. I said, yeah, and this is important that people, you look at a lot of these cases, look at the video footage. A lot of the generation, when the police approach them, they really be shocked. They really literally be shocked. And it's because, people not passed down to them the police operandi, or how the police operate. You know what I'm saying? And people say, man, I talked to this brother yesterday, 2 days ago. He's a filmmaker. In Chicago. And he said, man, Chairman, I just didn't like the fact they, they didn't talk about your father, Chairman. For into the work he did internationally. I said, let's deal with the real world. I said, now you a filmmaker. I said, do you remember you done a whole music project about Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, but you like the fact they, they didn't talk about your father, Chairman Fred, into the work he did internationally. I said, let's deal with the real. We put the Panther Cub political peel in this apple sauce. But is and there's a lot, most of the people, that's goes with this, a lot of cats ain't ready for.
And I call this the city of corruption. Especially, this is when I don't know if you guys ever heard of the gun first California, that's the Baltimore city of Baltimore city that basically charged women and things like that.
Sister, my fault. Go, my fault, sister.
For everybody who's tuning in live, it appears that Mr. Chairman has a very bad connection, and so that's why his there's nothing I can really do on my end, unfortunately. I'm going to try refreshing, see if that helps, but yeah, he's got a really bad connection.
Sister, my fault. Go, my fault, sister.
Yeah, but he's losing followers on this. The connection is just too terrible. I'm gonna stay on in hopes that it improves. I'm gonna switch back over to the see if that is coming in any better.
That night, I literally
Yeah, we're gonna not rely on Instagram.
With my Facebook Live, almost sort of like Sandra Bland. You can get type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people will kill you and get away with it. And it kind of reminds me of Corinne Gaines that actually was gunned down in her damn house, you know, for a traffic ticket. Gunned down because she knew how to search. You get what I'm saying? And literally, she went in, you know, the police district videoing them, and then literally came out days later, executed her, trying to kill her baby too. So this is the world in our reality, and I just thank you, but I don't care until my coffin drops. I'm never going to stop fighting for my brother, not just my brother, for all the brothers and sisters around the world, because guess what, we in America, okay? This is what they do, and I'm going to keep on fighting them, and I'm never going to stop. Yeah? So, I just want to thank you for my time.
right? In another hour? Yeah. Okay, I'm taking the email. Yup. Yes, sir. Bring them on. Okay, we'll speak that. Fremont, you over there? You down?
Yeah, I'm still here.
My phone, they had me disconnected for a minute. My phone system, I was disconnected. I'm trying to get this phone, okay.
For letting me share. Thank you so much for letting me share. And like I said, people don't believe this stuff is real until it actually hits them and knocks them off their feet. So I definitely wanted to thank you. And I'm a freedom fighter. I'm gonna keep on fighting until they kill me. And guess what? They can't kill me because I have children that's gonna fight as well.
I'm familiar. I hope the people didn't get cut off. I hope they heard. I hope that you give us some contact information. And I know before the weekly visuals that you were doing out there, I need my people, our people in Baltimore that's listening. You know what I'm saying? To support this however they can. But give us some social media contacts, whatever you people can tune in. You know what I'm saying? Get in contact with you also, my sister.
Yes, thank you so much. So if they want to reach it, like you said, we used to be outside until the pandemic happened, but we're actually online. And shout out to my brother Ben for making it happen, the man before and behind the movement. But nevertheless, a big shout out to the whole West Coalition. But they can hashtag West Wednesday on any social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, where they can actually go to my brother Justice for Tyrone West page and they can reach me there. Email address as well as Miss MISSTAWANDA number 17 at yahoo.com. And just remember, we more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter, and we just gotta keep this fight going. Period.
Real talk.
Come on, girl.
Right on. Well said. They say pop that corn. That's a penitentiary saying. That's Mother Comrade and Cool and Jerry just commented, formerly known Deborah Johnson.
Right.
That's my Mother Comrade. My A1 from day one.
I know that's right.
Yes indeed. These airwaves, I'm trying to get back on Facebook. They keep messing with me though. They gonna do their thing. We gonna do our thing. Shit. You keep them. These airwaves are always open for you. Let me try to jump on Twitter. What's the other one? Instagram. Try back on that one again. Okay. These airwaves are always open for you. You know what I'm saying? Stay on for a minute. Any callers in queue? Dabney?
Brother Chairman, we have Brother Hal out in New Orleans. Put him on.
Yeah.
Welcome on radio.
Yeah, all power to the people. This is my first time listening at the radio. I like what I'm hearing. Matter of fact, Fred, I met you when you came to New Orleans in 2015. You was across the river in Algiers at the Black Star Cafe. Man, you was talking. I'm the brother that gave you that Black Panther comic book.
What year was this?
This is 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm glad you called me, brother.
Yeah. Well, I'm one alumni, the Black Panther alumni. Malik Rahim, Brother Farouk. I know you're familiar with Malik. Farouk and all of them. I'm working with them, and we're doing some things in the community. Now, I would like to find a way if we can, because I know you got the Black Panther Party Cubs here in New Orleans up under Chewy and them. If we can find a way where we can put all of this together, because I have great admiration for you, your father Fred, Chairman Fred Sr., and your mother Akua and Jerry. I have great respect for y'all. Y'all laid the foundation.
Okay.
I have great respect.
We're working on get back down that way soon. I think definitely before the end of March, we're gonna get back down that way soon. And Chewy, that's our, he hears the work up down there, Louisiana chapter coordinator. Shout out to brother coordinator Chewy Clark, 18 years in Angola, been here to work for the Black Panther Party Cubs down there for quite some time. So, I mean, even just mentioning New Orleans, I think my accent started changing. Just even mention New Orleans. I miss it. Can't really get back. Oh, I know you know what? I know for a fact. But this is gonna be to me. It's gonna be for. I know for a fact before Father's Day, we doing a big move. We go down there to the Chairman Fred's tombstone in Hayesville, Louisiana. But that's on the other side of the book. That's We don't. Now while I got people listening, this Father's Day, got a big surprise to catch. We coming real. You know what I'm saying? Big surprise. Be on deck. But we're looking for March. So let's work on something face to face. We got that. You know what I'm saying? And chop it up. We prize on principal coalitions, man. But you know what I'm saying? Let's stay in contact. And we'll see when we coming down that way. Make sure you hashtag this case your sisters put out here too. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say this for you from a 504 number, Mama Melody. She said that she wanted to interview you. So look out for that number. It's going to be a 504-209 number. That's if you call now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're right.
So when you come down, I would like for you to come to the alumni meeting. Whenever you come down there, if you come because we have our meetings every Tuesday, we meet up. And I'd like for you to be there.
Okay.
Whenever you come down.
On Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Okay. On Tuesday. Okay, so you're right. So you're right.
Oh.
So you're right. Yeah.
No.
So you're right.
Right
I look forward to it, no doubt about it. Right on.
All right.
Power to the people.
Right on. Power to the people.
Right on. Power to the people. We live and direct, y'all. Fremont Radio. We are in a historic place. Oakland, California. The birthplace of the Black Panther Party. We are here on a historic date. The birthday of Minister Huey P. Newton. Where's the Chairman Fred? Ain't no bad motherfucker than Minister Huey P. Newton. So we live and direct, y'all. Y'all feel free to call in. Cub in with us 929-477-3785. Then press 1. You know what I'm saying? We moving the groove speed of making history. We talking about, you know, so we ain't set tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because the deal is this system ain't set tripping with us. They hitting us in Baltimore, they hitting us in Oakland, they hitting us in Chicago, they hitting us everywhere, you know. So the only logical response is that we got to be hitting back from everywhere. So again, we need y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all call in, make these connections. A lot of people talk about, you know what I'm saying, call in, how we can support this sister talk what's going on down in Baltimore. Call in with your thoughts and input about, you know what I'm saying, the movie. Call in how we can support our people, our counterparts down there in Texas. You know what I'm saying? In particular, you know, we going through it down there. So they want to keep them on our minds and hearts. Now the text we can't forgive, you know what I'm saying? Our people down there. So y'all feel free to call in. Fremont Radio, live and direct.
Fremont, I'm online with you. Ho-ho.
Fremont, right on. Cole's in the building, right on. Yeah, we talking about what's happening in Texas, you know what I'm saying, the power outages and everything. You know, we talking about not only Texas, Virginia, and other places got hit from. We correct. You know, see on the mainstream news how people get hit. So, you know, you want to give us any updates, calls? What's going on? What it's like?
Well, it definitely, and power is still out in some places down here. We were without power for about 2.5 days, and trees falling on power lines, ice. Causing power outages and things like that. So they've been it seems like they've been working to try to get the power on, but I know they might be taking their time about doing it, because I know one of the days, you know, when the sun came up, we went to go look. We heard that one of the trees was on the power line, and so we went to look, and nobody was out there. And it had been said that they were out, you know, fixing power outages and whatnot, but they were not in this area at that time. So, and the area I live in is the black community, black area, and the power did eventually come back on, but it seemed like it took a minute for it to come on, because like I said, we got up and looked that next morning when people are normally at work trying to alleviate that problem, and that didn't happen till around later in the evening, around 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. So, and then we're expecting another ice storm tomorrow, and some people are talking about there probably be other outages and things like that. So we're just bracing for right now, doing what we can.
What's the weather like?
Right now it's kind of chilly. It's no precipitation falling right now, but they're calling for that tomorrow. So we went out today and saw long lines at the stores, gas stations, people filling up on kerosene and getting wood and things like that, bracing for the worst.
Mm. Yeah, it's serious times, y'all. You gotta stay connected. And I ain't just talking about this in the household. I'm talking about state to state, country to country. You know what I'm saying? We got the spirit of Marcus Garvey. One struggle, one people, y'all. So these y'all be checking up on our loved ones. I was talking to someone. I did an interview yesterday. I think Trio Radio. Kids down, in fact, they down in Texas. And he was commenting how it's good that we still have to connect, from down to Chicago down south. And I grew up, it was common, for cats to say, okay, I'm going down south with my family for the summer, school is out. They got us so divided, a lot of cats don't even be knowing, you know what I'm saying? Our connection, what I'm saying. A lot of cats.
It looks like the
Still there?
feed is cut out for
Yes, I'm still here.
Chairman Fred.
Yeah.
You must have
I'm
got
still
the
here.
ring up.
Okay, I'm not.
Don't hang up.
They are trying to get him reconnected. Please stand by.
You in, Chairman. Fremont, I was asking if you were still live, but I was on, because when you were talking, I put the phone on mute, and then once the music started playing, I realized that I was on mute. So, but I was going to ask. Go ahead.
The sister in Baltimore is still there, too.
Okay, right on. Who is this? Okay, Fremont, excuse me. Hello?
Fremont.
Yeah, hello? Yeah, Fremont.
Yeah.
Who's on the radio show? Who's called? Huh? Who is it? Hey, Kevin, what's going on, bro? I'm doing a radio show right now. Give me about an hour. I'm doing a radio show right now. I'm reading a radio show. All right, no problem. All right. Okay, my fault, y'all. Yeah. Fremont, yeah?
Yep, we here.
Yeah.
Man, you know what would be amazing to me, though? You know what amazing to me on the side note? Some people I ain't heard from in 15, 20 years, and they call them, they say their name, first name, like I put, like, offended. That's bull. It amazes me, man.
It's just the beginning.
Man, I'm amazes me, boy. I'm telling you, boy. I told before this happened, I said my next piece of jewelry, even doing this arena, it's gonna be a garlic necklace. I'm sure I'm gonna make me one.
I was gonna say, I wonder why they crawling there all of a sudden.
They couldn't find me.
Oh yeah, you sure are hard to find.
Yes, indeed. Well, I want to say this to the people, y'all, who've been consistent about it, you know what I'm saying, rough time, tough time, revolutionary love. It's an honor to serve. This momentum and energy is going. People feel a little more safe to say certain things we've been saying, so let's seize the time. I'm on cloud million. So Lunel had called me today live on Instagram, and she say, that man, she said, it's 4 things in her life she regret. this movie, we did reach out to her to call to get on, but we told, we're gonna work on work on a series or something, hopefully, and definitely get her on deck. You know, but it's a hell of a time. We need y'all to make sure y'all have Sister Wanda to put out again the hashtag. The hashtag how we can support. We worry about what's going on down there in Baltimore. But our brother's case, we need people to hashtag that. We need y'all to make sure. Matter of fact, we're not gonna cease our call to help save and maintain them out there, but we're gonna shut down the GoFundMe, which technically has reached the goal we put out on today. I only get that done today. On Minister, I want to make sure it's marked in our mind, marked in our heart on Minister UEP New's birthday. So, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure we do that, and I want to thank the people for their support and ongoing support. You know, we are transparent. We let y'all see the programs we've been doing now. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of work to do, but be rolling control, but not just for the rats. You know what I'm saying? And for the rats, we have to do that. But it's ongoing. But you know, it's a major leap. I want to make sure I want to technically, cut up there on call for the cut up on Minister UEP New's birthday. For the record, to close it down. We have other ways people can still go through support with the Cash App and work on, some other ways people can donate, but we won't get that down just for the record. On Minister UEP New's birthday, we shut it down. So we live and direct, y'all. I'm trying to go on Facebook, trying to go on Instagram. I can't get none of these jokes, none of these things. To work it out.
Chairman, I know it's some young men that I don't know if they are, Sister Daphne, if you have anyone from 434 area code calling in, some young men that watched the movie and definitely were taken by it and definitely wanted to ask you some questions. So I gave them the number. Well, I gave their father the number, and he said that they were going to call in. So they may be on the line now. I don't know, but they definitely were inspired and couldn't believe that this was something that actually happened, and was asking their father the questions, and he was like, well, I know, he knows me, and he called me and was like, yo, what's the number? I said, have them ask the questions themselves. Don't ask the questions for them. Chairman, we would love to hear the youth call in and express themselves and ask the questions that need to be asked and answered by you.
Well, we have any more calls in queue?
Fremont, Brother Chairman. We have Brother Byron Henry, Fremont.
Welcome to Fremont Radio.
Fremont, sisters. How you all doing this evening? First and foremost, I got to say happy birthday to Minister Huey P. Newton, and I want to let you all know it's an honor to be speaking with you all, Brother Chairman. I actually spoke with you recently, a few days ago. I'm from Maywood, Illinois. I'm a brand owner, and I currently have some shirts with Chairman Fred Hampton Sr.'s image on it, and the proceeds from the research are going to be going to Save the Hampton House, and I would like to just basically put that out there, and also just again let you all know how much of an honor it is to speak to you, and that I would love to be a part of the organization, to do some work for the organization, or have some input, or just be able to help in any way I possibly could.
Right on, respect. Let me say this too, man. You know, I'm glad you called in, because we're gonna be on the full campaign too, also about addressing what we call contraband clothing, something that's not authorized. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be so y'all look for that Cub contraband sticker. But you, man, I definitely feel much so you came through. We appreciate you. Let's stay in contact. You know, we definitely want you on board, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do the radio show. You guys want to line, my brother?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Hold on. Yes. Who you gonna call, brother? Who you gonna call? Hold on. Yeah. I got your speaker. Yeah. I'm on the radio show right now. It's live. Yeah, it's live. Yeah, who you got? You got what? You got what? Yes, sir. When they gonna start, can I throw on let's say something. I mean, it's cool. Say something to me on radio show then. Yeah. It's live. Go ahead. We got people calling in all the time from the camps. Okay, you live, nephew.
I'm live right now?
You live right now on the radio show. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody that can hear me, I just want to say assalamu alaikum. I love all of you. You know, I'm not an undisclosed location right now. I'll be back soon. Forget about my teacher. All is well.
Yes, indeed. This is my nephew, young wrong, man. I love you. He called in. Yes, y'all know where he calling in from, so it's all love. You know what I'm saying? You can't really. Yeah.
No, that's your other nephew, Gage. You know?
Okay. Yeah, pardon us. Your other nephew, Gage. Okay, love, respect. Yes, sir. No doubt. My fault, pardon us. Okay. Hey, I love you, nephew. I'm glad you called in. You never know who we're gonna get a call from. Who's gonna call in? You know what I'm saying? Man, how you holding up, nephew? How you holding up?
I'm still on my end right now. I'm still out the country.
Okay. Hold on. My fault. I'm just making the connection. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just making the connection. Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, I just covered that shit, man. Yeah. Okay. Hey, man, you gonna stop this stuff, man. Hey, man.
It wasn't like that. I just called my pop. I had missed him. He was demonstrating on the phone, and he called you. I said, yeah, call it.
Hey, man. Listen, you can't make this up, man. Oh, man. Hey, this Freedom All Radio every Wednesday. It's hosted by myself and Lady of Rage, man. Let me tell you, this is who we get on here, all right? Is it all love?
It's real quick, Kevin. Real quick, you know?
Okay. Man, and we got our brother Kevin Gates on line with us right now, y'all, live and direct. Okay. Yes, sir, bro. I can't wait to tell you. I missed you last time you came through, man. And you touched back down. You got to come to the Hampton House, brother. You got to come to the Hampton House, man.
Hey, if it be the will of Allah, we there.
Yes, that's what it is. I'll
be there shortly. I'm talking about quicker than you blank your eyes. I'll be there shortly.
So you're right. It's ironic you called. Somebody, I just had another call in from New Orleans, right? Your next door neighbors just called in to show a few minutes ago. You know? Man, I can't wait to touch down with you, brother. Real talk. I'm glad you called in, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, hey, man. Hey, nephew, we on deck, man. Hey, I love you, man.
I love you more than that, dog.
Yes, sir, man. I love y'all, brothers. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I love you, sir.
We'll see y'all soon.
Yes, indeed. My fault. Okay, listeners, y'all there?
Still here.
Yes, sir.
Still riding.
That was Kevin Gates. That was Kevin Gates.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, my fault, brother. Back there, you know who gonna call in on 3MR Radio, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Who might call in? That was Kevin, for the hip hop world. You know what I'm saying? Those don't know Kevin Gates. That was him just calling in. So, brother, back to you, ma'am. Let's get let's seize the time with this propaganda. Let's do it, man. I'm back in a couple of days. I really appreciate you reaching out. You know what I'm saying? Then we feel much so you came through. So let's do it. Let's make history. Let's take history, bro. Real talk. Definitely, brother. And I also wanted to inquire as to if there are any branches out in North Carolina and in particular the Charlotte area, because I have some relatives out there who were inquiring with me about it. So I just told them to check out the talk show, the radio show and everything, but also that I would inquire myself, and try to find out as well. We got what we refer to as support forces, right? That's down there. We need to run an actual branch down there. Chapter. Matter of fact, we had shook it up down there before. Was it Duke, North Carolina? The university was supposed to get down there some years back, but let's seize the time with it. So connect whoever you got down there. Tell them this in the meantime. Tell them first of all they got to go through. They go on YouTube or my website gonna be up in a minute for Black Panther Party Cubs and also with Chairman Fred Jr. Find 6 episodes of this radio show, Freedom on Radio, and give us 6 write-ups or summations. You know what I'm saying? That's how you work on membership. Okay. So they can start working on that like yesterday. Start working on it yesterday. They're pulling out 6 old shows and start rating, like 6 different summations for Freedom on Radio. You know what I'm saying? Then we follow up on get down there for the official chapter. You know? Okay. Yes, sir. So I would definitely. Thank you, brother. Let's stay in contact, man. I'll definitely be in contact. I would definitely be in contact. You don't have to question that or second guess it whatsoever. I appreciate the opportunity to do some service for my people, and to be doing service along with you all as well. Like this, like I said, it's just an honor and a privilege, and this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, something I wanted to be a part of for a long time. Like I stated to you when we talked in person, like I've had family members who knew your father, who knew Chairman Senior, and were part of the organization then, and so this is just opportune time for me that and like I said, I feel blessed to be in this situation and in this position, and at you guys' service, to say the least.
Well, we thank you. Are we still live?
I know if it got cut off.
We're still live. Well, we definitely will live. I'll reconnect. Yes, Free 'em all. We definitely thank you, and feel free to call in anytime on Free 'em all Radio every Wednesday. 477-3785.
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Area code 929-477-3785.
It's 9 o'clock.
You in?
I'm in.
You got an echo going.
Oh. Well,
You straight now. You straight.
Okay. Let me see. Y'all forgive me. They dropping the call. Today's official kick of Black Solidarity Week, also here in Oakland, California. Let me see. We'll post these flyers up. Got events going on as we speak. I got another event to do tonight. I'm trying to go on this Facebook. Yeah. Matter of fact, put on Twitter and hashtag, or not, put on Twitter and hashtag. I know I'm messed up in here on the social media. Repost it. Kevin Gates is tuned in. Instagram, Kevin Gates is called in at Freedom on Radio. You know what I'm saying? The doors are open, y'all. Y'all feel free. The doors are open. The people calling in at Freedom on Radio, but feel free to let people know. It's the people's thing. Y'all feel free to call in, tune in, club in. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Is it happening? Any callers in queue?
Yes, Fremont. Yes, Sister Robin. We got Brother Abdul Haq out of New York. Fremont.
Welcome to Fremont Radio.
Fremont Radio.
Chairman Fred, Fremont, brother.
Fremont.
Fremont, you hear me?
Yeah, you loud and clear.
Right on, brother. Yeah, I see you working real hard, brother. Straight ahead. Working real hard. That's good, brother.
Straight ahead.
Yeah,
yes,
we that film, Judas and the Black Messiah, that's an atomic bomb, brother, in the hearts of our people. It's like 50 atomic bombs. You understand? Of black power in the heart. We watched it, man, and it fired us up, brother. It fired us up, and revolutionaries are leading the narrative to tell our people what it's about, what it means. You understand? The lessons learned. Revolutionaries are leading that, and we with that. The December 12th movement is with that. You understand? The lesson.
December 12th. Shout out to December 12th, Sisters Place. Man, Val the Plumber said, shout out, revolutionaries, shout out, love, respect. Y'all can't go through New York, touchdown, D12, Sister Place. Right on. My fault. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we working, brother. We working, you dig? Somebody says it's better to have 6 worker bees than have 1,000 flies, and we working, man. Like I say, we been taking leadership, part of the leadership and the narrative to say what the lessons learned in the movie. On the one hand, you understand, is to purge our people of everything despicable, being a race traitor, a snitch, you understand, a lowlife, and every way that it manifests itself. In terms of Black Sambo, Uncle Tom, collaborationists, loving the enemy, to despise that and to purge that out of our race. And on the other hand, to love that which is beautiful, which Chairman Fred represented. You understand? To the love of the people that he showed, to let the people know their power. You understand? The people were feeling their power through Chairman Fred. Chairman Fred was always loyal to the people, never betrayed the people. You understand? Never forsook the people, And this is a lesson that our people need to learn and to carry that on. You understand? And these 18, 19, 20, and 21-year-olds today, you understand, their gig is not to be a dope dealer. They ain't, to feel so in fear that you got to sell dope for the man, but be revolutionaries, to feel black power, to rise up, to have an uprising. You dig? And another point I want to make is that this movie also can help us understand the value of our political prisoners and prisoners of war. The Black Panthers that existed, the same nature as the Black Panthers and black members of the Black Liberation Army, that we have to say free them all. That our people have to have the value that's stolen treasure. you understand, of our political prisoners and prisoners of war, you know, and demand and raise the call to free them all.
Free them all. So you're right. So you're right.
Free them all. Yeah, and in terms of the work that we're doing right now, the December 12th movement is calling for an uprising. We're calling for thousands of black people to stick their feet 6 miles up these crackers behind and demand that this boy executive order for a down payment for reparations, $50 billion. You know, and we call on people to join us up, to rise up. You know, it's been many uprisings. We have a proud history of uprising, from the plantations. In fact, the legacy of those uprisings is what inspired 300,000 black soldiers in the Civil War to actually win, and that's what freed the slaves. Those 300,000 soldiers during the Civil War. So in that spirit, we call on our people to rise up and demand that these crackers, these thieves, pay what they took from us, you know. And anybody who's interested in helping us with that, I'm going to give a phone number, all right? That's 718, good, 718-398-1766.
All right? Again.
718-398-1766. Yep. And as soon as snow melts, man, I'm going to be coming up there to Chicago, you know, and holler at y'all.
We on deck looking for you, bro. Right on.
We got 10 more inches coming tomorrow.
In Chicago or New York?
New York.
Damn. Is it 10 more inches?
You know, 10 more inches coming tomorrow.
Damn.
But you know, they know thing but chicken wing. People think I made up that saying, but that's Matula Shakur. And also, I want to say that some of our political prisoners are coming down with cancer. Imam Jamil, Matulu, Maroon Schultz are coming down with cancer. You know, we can't let them die in prison.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. It's cold red from real talk.
Yeah. So, revolutionary love, brother, you know, that film is a beautiful thing, and we're going to continue using that as a weapon against these hillbillies. You know, they can't stop it, They can't, ain't nothing going to stop us. As McFadden Whitehead said, ain't nothing going to stop us.
That's right.
Can't nothing stop us.
That's right.
You know?
Man, real talk.
I see you working hard, brother. That's good.
Well, I'm honored and humbled, man. How they say in church, what's your calling? This is my calling.
Free them all.
Free them all.
And one last point. You know, them crackers that did their thing on January 1st, we can beat them. You know, they're the same kind of crackers that everywhere they went, guerrillas punked them all over the world, you know. And with black power, you know, black power can beat the hell out of white power. You know, we got a lot of black power in our people.
So you're right.
You know, see these white militias are on the rise now, but they can't beat us. We can beat them. You know, we got to organize our self-defense units, and we can beat them.
Man, it's always inspiration you call in, but I do have to make sure you get up. I love respect. Man, right on with the movie. We got to do some more viewings when they get up there, you know?
Yeah, the whole December 12th movie love you, brother.
They tell that December 12th, I like black. Love them right black. Right black at them. Love y'all. Right on. Love y'all. Right black. That's right. We'll be that way, man.
Hope that 10 inches of snow be gone, but like you, hey, whatever it is, we gonna cover it on out, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Rain, see the snow, we gonna do what it do, we gonna keep on struggling, you know?
That's right. None of those stop us, brother, you know. I mean, you know, it's like when you lift weight, you know, that's what make you strong. So whatever, you know, comes in opposition, you know, we're gonna make it, it's gonna make us stronger. That's all it's gonna do.
So you're right. So you're right.
Your work.
So you're right.
We're gonna do our work.
Man, I'm on Cloud Million, man. We got another event to do tonight. Y'all tune in. I forgot this is oh man, so many events going. So much stuff. Man.
Yeah,
I'm just so excited right now.
They're popping all over the place.
I can't get back to New York, Baltimore, Oakland. I'm in Oakland right now. I'm just this climate right now. I'm so excited. We used to tease my maternal grandmother. We used to tease, make jokes about her. It's this meat market in Chicago, and she had this thing like them turkey necks, whatever. She went over there. They had all that food at all that meat market. And we was laughing because she just was shaking like, she said, just so much, it's so much. I feel like her right now. It's just so much, man. The type of conversation, the work, man, I'm on Cloud Million, man. I'm on Cloud Million. You know? Real talk. We have presses I see you can tune in with. The phone might break up on me in the middle. We live and direct on Freedom. Yes, indeed. We live and direct. Any more callers in queue?
Freedom on, Brother Chairman.
We got New York calling in. We in Oakland, California. I got a little reception on my Facebook. My man Silas, he just tuned in. Got President Tanky just tuned in. We got somebody tuned on the call in. Who we got?
Deputy Bill.
Free them all, sir. Free them all, sir. Man, man.
Good evening, what else, sis? How you feel? Y'all, happy Minister UEP Noon Day.
You say, sir, happy Minister UEP Noon Day, sir. Man, I'm too proletarian intoxicated to be astronomically intimidated right now, sir. Real talk.
Come on now.
So you're right.
Man, real talk.
Phenomenal.
Ain't no, in the words of Field Marshal George Jackson, ain't no guarantee tomorrow. So I want to, man, check your chair, man. It's an honor, man. Be out here, Mama Comrade, man, everybody, man. It's an honor. Everybody talking that, man. And I ain't gonna say too much. I just want to check in and say free them all.
Free them all. Say whatever's on your mind. You know what free them all is about.
Yeah, I already know. I'm too, man. I'm man. D12 done checked in, man. Everybody, man, checking in. We check, man. We serving the people. I'm loving it, man. Continue to do this work. Shit, we already said, continue to work. You know what I'm saying? And like Chet, man, we out here. You already know. You got your back like a backpack, your chest like a bulletproof vest. Literally,
there it is.
You did?
There it is.
So free them all. We love y'all. Free them all.
We love you too. Right back at you. As Chairman would say, right back at you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I already know the state doing their thing on us anyway, so it is what it is, man. It's just, man, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Happy Minister Huey Day, man. You already know what it is. Man.
Yeah.
Bad motherfucking Minister Huey P. Newton. It is what it is, man. Shit.
They still try to drag his name through the mud too. Man. I said they still try to drag his name through the mud too, drag his legacy.
Yep, man. So we gonna continue to fight all the way through. Real talk. We're just checking in.
Yes, sir.
Indeed. I know they mess with man.
Yeah, I keep hearing his music. I don't know where that's.
That's some new. That's man.
Yeah, that's some brand new shit. I was like, what is this?
I was like, what is that?
It's not coming from my end.
That's too queen.
That ain't even our genre. That's what is. We don't listen to that.
They're gonna do what they want. They're gonna make us do what we saying. We gonna talk over that shit.
Yeah. Shoot.
Man.
Well, it's good to hear from you, Deputy Field Marshal.
Likewise, comrade, man. On the radio, man. We were just bumping the thing. I was talking some of your old stuff the other day. They're like, what? That's they couldn't relate. Some of you, man, you like, man, we read. I'm like, man, you still out here, man. We waiting to hear something new from you too, man. I know you've been holding.
Man, I got stuff, but I need the right tracks, and I've been saying this for years.
You know what this sister said?
I need that right formula.
You know what they said though? Even your old man, she was like, man, you don't hear. She is a younger sister. She was talking. She like, I was playing it in opposed to, the other. Ain't no shot down on nobody else who out there or whatever now.
Right.
But they was like, you don't hear no females like coming like that the way, you know what I'm saying, like that no more or whatever. Like, man, it was like, man, I'm like, yeah, because they were just talking about female rappers in general. I had, you know me subjectively and for real. I was like, yeah, guess what? This one of them.
Well, yeah. But I will say it's a few of them out there that I've heard you just ain't, they ain't playing them. They got their agenda on who they want.
I was telling them they ain't gonna push them like that.
Right.
They ain't gonna expect the industry to push them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, but that's a whole different other topic though. I ain't gonna get off the subject though. Long live Minister Huey. Man, y'all.
Long live.
I know we having these technical, whatever going on. I can still. I don't know what's the pro. It's all good. I don't even know dead out.
Is Kevin on?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, try it again.
Oh, that's the whole thing.
You in there, Chairman? Bring him on.
Swim on, no, I just need it. It's just okay. I'll keep it monitored.
Hello?
Bring him on.
I'm still here. Bring him on.
Bring him on.
Man, y'all. They
Deputy
keep cutting
Field
us
Marshal,
off.
he was on. Okay.
All right. Facebook, I'm losing that now. Yeah. Non-stop. One thing is enough. Okay, what time? 6:30. Man. Ooh, they get a professional setup coming in a minute. Get this going on. Y'all look for the podcast too. Damn. Judas and Black Messiah podcast.
Yes. What's that on Fridays, right? What day?
I think it's you can get episode 1 now. If you go to the podcast, type in Judas and the Black Messiah podcast. It's already released.
Mm-hmm.
Episode
1. Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay.
On another note, I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying what this Facebook. Go ahead. I was on this Facebook not coming on.
I was I don't know how many people are aware of a 28-year-old black woman was found stuffed inside a suitcase in North Carolina. She was 6.5 months pregnant. She had been missing a few days. So this was in Wake County, North Carolina, and her name is Brittany Simone Smith. So just bringing awareness to that young lady who was murdered. 2 suspects have been arrested, a white couple, male and, Thomas Clayton and Emily Trevathan. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but they were arrested and didn't say what the cause was, but they was charged with murder and murder of an unborn child and concealment of a body. So just wanted to put her name out there, Brittany Simone Smith, y'all.
Okay, right on. What's her name again?
Brittany Simone Smith, 28 years old.
Okay.
Found stuff in a suitcase along the Neuse River. But it's not spelled Noose, it's spelled Neuse in North Carolina.
I want to be familiar with that update. Okay, yes indeed. Yes indeed. Yes indeed.
Fremont, you're getting short on time. Can Sister Tawanda give that information out again, please, if she's still on?
Okay.
Yes, I'm still here. Yes.
I don't know.
All right, again, first of all, I just want to thank y'all again. It's been amazing. So I just want to thank each and every last one of y'all. Give y'all a big shout out. But again, if anybody want to reach me, they can reach me through my brother's Facebook page. That's Justice for Tyrone West. Or they can email me at MissTawanda number 17 @yahoo.com, and they can reach me on any social media platform with the hashtag West Wednesday. And thank you guys so much.
Got it.
Thank you. Edwin's always open. Okay, hold on. Always open to you, sis. Right on. Hold on a second.
And I'm going to and Chairman Fred, I'm going to send you a picture that my brother painted of Huey. He painted a beautiful picture of Huey. It's in my It's in my living room. Yapa Huey P. Newton. He painted. He drew him and painted him. So I'm gonna definitely send you that picture. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sister. We're looking forward to that. Right on. Hold on a second. Okay, Fremont, say it again. Let me check. Hold on. I'm closing on the radio show right now. Check right now. Yeah. Almost. Yeah. Right on. Yeah. We almost up. Okay, we need y'all. Okay, so how can people? Okay, I want to announce this too. We got the flyers posted up. Check my page, y'all, for the event we got going on right, like literally right now, in a few minutes. Check my page. Okay, what is it? Okay. Man, it's non-stop around here. Man. I done drunk so much coffee. Shit. Oh, okay, how we looking on time? What is it? 6:23. Okay.
Want to count down?
Countdown. Man. Ooh, gotta get to New York, gotta get to mega season energy. Yeah. Y'all tune in. Y'all see the co-host in the movie too, episode when the whole review, y'all. I don't want to spoil it for those who ain't seen it, so those who ain't seen it, go see it, go check it out. I don't know what your critique, your comments, but at least see it, Cat saying, man, we didn't do this and do that. I told one cat, listen, man, the role of propaganda, don't get it twisted. They said the Isley Brother music was responsible for a lot of babies being, a lot of relationships happening. But get the hotel, we're gonna do all the work for you. Say, you out your mind. The movie ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's all the organized do the work. So we're gonna try to come on, check out the Cubs are doing. Go to SaveHamptonHouse.org. The best is coming soon. But in essence, the Cubs are coming. The Black Panther Party Cubs are here. Real talk. So let me check the link real quick. Make sure I get the internet right here. It's so much happening. It's kind of hard to do. But Chairman Fred say, a lot of these cats can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Let me try to juggle this here. Okay, where I'm at. Internet. Okay, we good. Y'all tune on in, check my page. They got something going on now. All this, oh man. February 17th, 2021. Minister, if you doing birthday?
Y'all tune in, tune in. Let me get into Zoom real quick. Put it like that. Okay. So we got to take us out. How do I go next?
Free them all, Brother Chairman. We're going to go out. It's a little early, but we're going to go back out. It's that new Kappa T featuring.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Right.
Free them all.
Right on.
I know.
Free them all.
Free them all.
We said that if you don't struggle correctly, you shouldn't struggle. But you should struggle. We said dare to struggle and you dare to win. And dare not to struggle and you don't deserve to win. But we have to struggle properly. They don't want to admit this. There are a lot of young organizations around, but we are political organizations. We are an organization that understands that politics is nothing but war without bloodshed, and war is nothing but politics with bloodshed. That it's just like you stretch something, and it goes, you can stretch things, they'll go into being another thing. If you stretch politics so long, it'll be war. And that's where we at.
42 shots through that bedroom. Mama Cool was laying asleep up in that bed too. That's when J. Edgar Hoover sent the feds stoop. You know them grimy ass ways that the feds move. Said they sent the memo saying the Panthers gotta go. Created a plan to start COINTELPRO. Tricked O'Neal and then he turned into a informant. The chairman killed the wee hours of the morning.
I'm feeling like Mike Brown, I'm feeling like Trayvon, I'm feeling like I gotta stay armed with hoodies and ARs. I'm feeling like I gotta black down, but this is a straight war. So tell them that I'm on the front line, I'm taking no days off. Yeah. Said it's mental slavery, yup, it's all in your head. If you ain't got your liberation, you better off dead. These modern day plantations, they call it the Fed. Whatever happened to the riders, guess all of them dead.